Chair and Conference. For the last 3 years, Conference has supported motions on community water fluoridation. Thank you. And this year's motion is even more relevant as we move towards public consultation for fluoridation and opportunities to support positive change. So why 4 motions? Because in spite of generally improving oral health, there are still areas with unacceptable levels of disease, alarming numbers of general anaesthetic extractions and widening oral health inequality. And these same inequalities have been laid bare by the COVID pandemic, where deprived communities have been disproportionately affected. Surely, following COVID and greater awareness of the benefits and value of public health, we must strengthen measures that build health resilience. Because we know fluoridation reduces decay rates by up to 40%, reduces exposure to general anaesthetic extractions to children by up to 68%, and erodes health inequality. In 2017, this conference supported the inclusion of targeted fluoridation within the Starting Well programme. In 18 and 19, this conference unanimously called for the burden of the recurrent costs of schemes to be moved away from local authorities to national government, and for support for councils moving forward with community water fluoridation. Since the 2017 motion, there has been a shift in thinking driven by our profession-led campaign. Oral health improvement and water fluoridation were included in the Green Paper on Prevention, and CWF was specifically mentioned in the consultation questions for the parliamentary inquiry into dentistry. This demonstrates that our conference motions can and do make a difference. You have taken CWF out of the so-called too hard box and placed it centre stage with policymakers. Now, we need to support councils taking the next steps on behalf of the communities that they represent. Largely due to the advocacy of LDCs fully represented here, plus strong advocacy by the BDA, BSPD and the FGDP, to name just a few of the growing membership of the National CWF network, councils are queuing up to explore the potential health benefits of fluoridation. This is a massive credit to our profession, and this conference has played a leading role. And of course, our colleagues up and down the country who work in fluoridated areas understand and recognise the benefits that CWF can bring. So this motion is about demonstrating our solid support for Durham, Sunderland, South Tyneside and Northumberland councils as they move towards public consultation for community water fluoridation. It's also about sending a message that as a community of LDCs, we stand shoulder to shoulder with the local campaign in the North East led by our colleagues Tom Robson and Charlie Daniels.
Thank you, Simon. Right, would anybody care to speak? Anybody want to raise their hand? Right, so we have Martin Longbottom, West Pennine. Martin, the floor is yours.
I'd like to support the motion, but I can't see that water fluoridation is going to be implemented. Ever since I qualified 29 years ago, we've been talking about fluoridating water supplies, but it never seems to have happened. So best of luck. Let's see if we can get it done.
Thank you, Martin. Anybody else wish to speak? Yes, Peter Knops, Sunderland LDC.
Hi there. Can I just disagree with that last comment? We had a meeting with the local council and they were actually reasonably supportive of community water fluoridation. What would really help is if this could be carried unanimously, and then we can go back to the council and say that CWF is supported by a whole raft of dentists. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, Jonathan Miners-Wallace, Dorset LDC, you have your hand raised. Are you for or against, sir?
I'm for fluoridation. I think the problem that I have with it is that they tried to do it in Southampton, which is very local, and they came across such stiff opposition that they ended up withdrawing it. So I think it's something that dentists need to push for, but I'm not sure how easy it is, because the anti-fluoride lobby is actually very, very difficult to get past.
Thank you. Right. Anybody else wish to speak? Right, Shiv Farbury, GDPC. Are you for or against?
Just very quickly, thank you, Stuart. I'm for this motion, but can we really reiterate what Peter just said and try and get this to 100% if we can, guys, because it's a no-brainer as far as we're concerned, fluoridation in the water supply. But we really need a strong message, and there's a lot of work going on in the Northeast on this, and we really, really need the support of the profession. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiv. Any more for any more? Now, in that case, can I ask you that you move to the vote?
Fast. Okay, I think we're there.
Thank you.
I could say this motion has been carried, but not unanimously, I'm afraid.
Well, I personally am disappointed that it isn't unanimous. I'm delighted it has been carried, and I'll look forward to the stats when we get to see those.